Part 3. Sound and weak verbs.
The majority of Arabic verbs are sound, 80.46%. And by saying sound, that means they are free of any vowels. And by saying vowels, we mean the waw and the ya. So the verb, a sound verb, is free from any waw or ya in its root letters, versus a weak verb, which will have a vowel in any of its root letters, which is mainly the waw or the ya. You will come across an alif. The alif, however, it's important to know that the alif is always attributed back to an original waw or ya, such as in the example of qala, verb to say, or he said, qala. The alif in the middle is yaqulu in the present tense, so that's a waw. And we can always verify that by checking the present tense and the gerund as well, such as qawlan. So we can double check in a dictionary. So we can sum up so far that the Arabic verb is either sahih, sound, or mu'tal, weak. And a sound verb, or al-fi'l al-sahih, does not have any waw or ya in its root letters. So basically no vowels. Whereas the weak verb, or al-fi'l al-mu'tal, will have one or even two vowels in its root letters. And under each broad category, whether sound or weak, there are subcategories which we will look closely at. So under the sound verb, we have three subcategories. Salim, i.e. regular sound verb, no vowels whatsoever in any of its root letters, such as shariba, jalasa, verb to drink, verb to sit. We also have the hamzated verb, al-fi'l al-mahmuz, whereby the hamza or glottal stop is one of the three root letters, and that could be at the beginning, such as akala. You can see the hamza is the first letter, or in the middle, such as sa'ala, verb to ask, and at the end, such as bada'a, verb to start. Note that the hamza is never considered a vowel, so we call this verb a hamzated verb. And finally, we have the geminated or doubled verb, al-fi'l al-muda'af, whereby the second and third radicals are exactly the same because one letter is doubled. So if you look at shadda, madda, radda, it's actually made up of three letters each, but the second and third radical are combined in one letter with a shadda diacritic on top. So if I say radda, and if I say it very slowly, radda, you can hear the two dals. So this is what we call a geminated verb. When it comes to the weak verb, al-fi'l al-mu'tal, we have three subcategories. Mithal, or assimilated verb, i.e. it begins with a vowel, waw or ya, mostly waw, like wa'ada, verb to promise, wasala, verb to arrive, yabisa, verb to become dry or stiff. We have the hollow verb, al-fi'l al-ajwaf, whereby the second radical could be a waw, ya, or an alif. However, note, I've told you earlier that the alif is always attributed to an original waw or ya. For example, ba'a, verb to sell. If we render it to the present tense, yabi'u, you can see that it's originally a ya. Sama, the alif over here, was originally a waw. Yasumu, verb to fast. Awira, ya'wuru. So in this case, the waw is still a waw because there's no alif. And we have the defective verb, al-fi'l al-naqis. The final root or radical is a waw or ya. So da'a, we have an alif. So the alif is originally a waw or ya. How do we know? We check the present tense and the gerund in a dictionary. Da'a yad'u. So it was a waw. Verb to supplicate. Masha, verb to walk. Yamshi. So that's also an alif, al-alif al-maqsura, short voweled alif. Masha, which is the a sound. Yamshi, verb to walk. So it was originally a ya. Radiya, yarda. So this one ends with a ya over here. So the defective verb ends with a vowel. Hollow verb, the vowel is in the middle. Misal, the vowel is at the beginning.
In addition to the subcategories of a weak verb can also have two vowels, so not just one. In the examples over here, we have tawa, verb to fold, and shawa, verb to grill. And the vowels over here, the two vowels are together and they're not separated by another letter, so they're kind of like holding hands, and this is what we call lafif maqroon, i.e. they're together. And sometimes they will be separated by another letter, such as wa'a, verb to wake up or become aware or conscious, whereby the waw and the alif are separated by the ain in the middle, or wafa, verb to be loyal or to keep one's promise or word. And in this instant, you can see that the waw and the alif at the end are separated by the fa in the middle. And this is what we call lafif mafruq, i.e. they're kind of separated. We can conclude by saying that Arabic verbs are conjugated in terms of person, gender, voice, and plurality. So a verb conjugation will give us all those aspects. We can also say that Arabic verbs are based on a root system. So they're either triliteral, that is based on 3-letter roots, or quadrilateral, that is based on 4-letter roots. The majority of verbs are triliteral, that is around 75% or more. And also verbs could either be sound or weak. Sound verbs have no vowels within the root, whereas weak verbs can have 1 or 2 vowels in the root. Remember that a vowel could either be a waw or ya, and if there's an alif, that could always be attributed back to an original waw or ya by double checking the present tense conjugation and the gerund or verbal noun.
وشكرا لحسن المتابعة.